Hello, fellow Whovians. I'm here in London. It is so close to midnight. So I suppose I can bring over the comments here. Hello, Julie. Hello, Nisha. So thank you for joining me. I had this set for tomorrow at this time because I'm a fool. But I am live. I'm in London, and I just came from the Doctor Who Time Fracture show. So you need to. Oh, look. Hello, Gina. I just want to give my reactions to it. I'm not going to give a full-blown review, but oh my goodness. This is not weird. No, Christian, of course, is in the peanut gallery, as he is. I did want to give just a little bit of an overview of my day, because I didn't get to see it just once. I got to see it twice. And this is a show that you can do that with. My mind is pretty much blown at this point. Unfortunately, the show is closing on June the 6th. So you've got, 2 weeks left to go see this show. If you can go see it, go see it. Because, wow. Of course, Christian did send me with little boy Blue here, who's not so blue anymore. After MegaCon, I took him. I'm here. So we went through, and I actually got shown some of the sets. Here's a poster outside, because yay. So yes, definitely go through, check out Time Fracture. Hit the gift shop. Actually found a copy of Gale Force 9's Time of the Daleks. I've reviewed this game, so you can check that out as well. All my Doctor Who reviews right there. But let's get to the actual pictures. The flip side of that picture is the Slovene Prime Minister. We've got some random, I think that's one of the Time Fractures. We saw this picture when we actually interviewed them. And this is in the market, the Pig Slaves building his own TARDIS. So we've got that there. Queen Elizabeth's court. And some more of that era. TARDIS running through another fracture. Hanging out in the cool future jazz bar. And yes, the jazz bar is on a ship. And you don't want to look directly at a supernova. You want to avoid time paradoxes, etc., etc. Nope, we're just gonna not go there. Please keep your tentacles to yourself. Hung out a bit in unit headquarters. Oh, look, I'm actually in picture. Crazy. More of the unit control room. More of me. And apparently I have that twice. And of course, had to have a little bit of a family reunion there with the traveling TARDIS and the big TARDIS. Some extra little notes laying around. And these are all out of order. Just hanging out outside, checking out. Next weekend is the Platinum Jubilee, so the entire city is decked out. And yes, thank you, the TARDIS. I will come back to that picture later. Look, you saved the universe. So this show is unlike anything I've ever seen. Hello, Paul. Thumbs up to Liz as well. Don't make me come in there. No, we don't need Christian. We don't need Christian. Christian can stay in the peanuts where he belongs. Tom, hello. Just for a frame of reference here, I am old school theater. I spent most of my life in the theater, on stage, behind the scenes, behind cameras. So I'm familiar with kind of everything that has gone on during this show, but it is still unlike anything I've ever seen. There are 13 different tracks that you can follow to go through this. So I could literally go to this show twice a day till the end of the run and possibly still not see everything. Let that sink in for a minute. Just how much you can see this and still not have everything. In fact, they've got a little returning hero identification card. You get stamps every time you go. You can see that little icon. I got a little pin. You get more pins the more you go. Also picked up a scarf because it is chilly here. I just came from Orlando. Week in Orlando is maybe weak. And of course, a shirt. But you go in, you start in, I'm not going to give any big spoilers here, or at least going to try. Hey, hello. Hey again, because I get buttons. You start in your headquarters, and things go wrong. Shocking. And again, you're following different performers through different spaces. You could end up moving between, for lack of a better term, guides. There are, Dr. Analogs, so other Time Lords that are there. You think? Yes, completely amazing. There's no big surprise. Some of this, there are aliens in there. There are monsters in there. There are surprises in there that I'm definitely not going to do. Oh, hello. Yes. And depending on what track, so I actively tried to go through a different path both of these times, and I did not as different as I wanted to go through because I knew what some of these are. I had a great little conversation with Rebecca Brower on Zoom. She was not able to come visit me and show me around in person. We did interview her, a year ago. If we're smart, we'll go back through and add a card up here somewhere after the fact with that interview. But go find that interview with Time Fracture on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS YouTube. And so she kind of gave me a little bit of an idea of what I could do and where you could go and stuff all of a sudden this character kind of goes past you and you don't realize that they're leading more people. So the person who came in, next to you or before, it's incredible. It's a constant handing of people. It's managing cats, if you will. Like, it's crazy how well these actors do this. It's a special skill set to be able to, 1, act, 2, improvise, 3, you're basically stage managing an audience. And you going through all of these different spaces. And of course, each actor knows what spaces they're going to go through. And there's another set of cast members who are some of the same, probably all of the same, quite frankly, in different parts. So again, there's 13 different ways you could go, sort of times 2, because every performer, because it's scripted improv, does have a different approach to how they present. Where's Christian? Christian's still in Orlando. I'm in London. Ha! So, haha. Yes, Time Lord Victorious. This links to Time Lord Victorious. I have not done the rest of Time Lord Victorious, so I don't know how it connects. So just for that. How do you choose between tracks? Great question. You don't. I mean, if you know that you can choose between tracks, you do. And it's just a matter of, okay, I went left this time. I'm going to consciously go right. Or I know this character that's talking here. I'm going to make myself pay attention to this character over here. And even then, though, like, they will guide you where they need you. And sometimes there's a breakup. There was 2 of us. They said, hey, you and you, come with me. The rest of you stay here and do this thing. So you can get pulled in so many directions. And it's not a choose your own adventure. You don't choose. but it's almost a role playing game. Gee, the game guy is comparing it to a game. But it's more, they are a whole ton, or somewhere up in the sky, there's a stage manager game master. It was Soapathon weekend was also Fringe Bring Your Own Venue. Yes, for those who don't understand that reference, Soapathon is, Deb, correct me if I'm wrong, last I checked, 72-hour long improv. It is a running plot for 72 hours, and there will be actors asleep under tables just to say they were still on stage. People will bring blankets, camp out. It's amazing. But yeah, you can't manage yourself, even if you know where you're going, because things are so different every time. I actively wanted to do, this or this. I didn't. I knew I wanted to follow certain actors. I knew I wanted to put myself in certain positions, and I still could not do it consciously. Only 52 hours. I swear it's been longer than 52 hours. I'm sure they did it at least once or twice, but 52 hours is still a heck of a theater run. The show runs roughly 2.5 hours. You don't notice it. I mean, you might notice it that you're on your feet the whole time, but there are points where you just you sit down. You're in that ship, that space bar. There's seating there. Go sit, watch the funky singer singing. Why is the far future singing what is, I guess, their version of Earth standards? Instead of it being your regular jazz standards of the 20th century, it's something totally more. I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm also not saying that you stay awake for all of 72 hours. And I'm not saying the actors don't almost die. I'm sure Mark Meer probably still holds that record. Mark Meer being Commander Shepard from the Mass Effect series, I might add. But Nathan Fillion from Firefly has also done Soapathon, I assume, because he comes from that same theater company. I'm kind of rambling because it is just that intense. Normally, when I go into a bar, a concert, a theater space, I do this. I'm looking at the lighting. I'm looking at the technical. Explicitly, the stuff you're not supposed to look at are the stuff I'm looking for. And I almost never did that this entire time because there was way more going on to keep me interested. Like in the space bar again. Yeah, okay, you're in there. You are in there for a little bit of time. It's almost an intermission. I agree. Mark Meer is not human. That is my conspiracy theory. But let's not get too off topic. Well, I mean, he did do a show called Doctor Whom. So Mark Meer is, and honestly, Mark Meer is never off topic. I'm sorry. Derail. Again, it's almost midnight. I've been going all day. Yeah, there's just so much happening. The sets are so much detail. When they walked me through in between shows, I was like, oh, and here's Osgood's unit badge. It's hanging over there on a coat rack. You would never notice that that's what that is. You look down over here, and on a sticky note, there's something cool. There's some kind of a code on a whiteboard that I did not have time and did not notice until way after the fact. So I have no idea what it is for. If you're going, go. If you see that, try and figure it out. It's one of those, it's a Tom Riddle thing where you're, what do all of these words reorganize to? I hate those games. I'm terrible at it. Also, drink water, people. Yeah. So I mean, if people have questions, please keep typing them in. Because I'm just trying to. I can't. I can't express just how good this show is. Now, some good news. I did say that it is ending a little bit early on June 6th here, so in a couple of weeks. So happy I got in before that happened. Um, there is a Peaky Blinders immersive theater show coming. So if you've ever watched Peaky Blinders, they're doing the same concept there. And I've only seen a little bit of Peaky Blinders, but that makes sense. That is a brilliant space to do that in. And that opens July 13th, also here in London. That's why Rebecca Brower actually ended up having to call me on a Zoom call, not being there in person with me. You know what, Richard? We have asked that. When we spoke to them, we said, hey, you going to bring this to the States? When I talked to Rebecca today. So, you're closing in London. When are we going to see you in North America? Maybe Toronto? No, nothing. They would love to bring it over. They really would. It's basically money, space. They are looking at a couple of different spaces around the UK because they did notice over the course of the run that a lot of people were coming into the city from not London to come see it. As strange as that, no, that's not even strange. I can't even pretend that's strange. So they're looking at other locations they can bring things in. It's closing a little bit early because of, well, let's be honest, bad luck. There's a Shakespeare bit. If you go in the right, down the right path, I'm sure somebody had to have been beaking off about the Scottish play and cursed them. None of this is surprising. They were shut down. The space flooded for a while, so they had some problems getting into the space. Then, of course, all of the COVID closures for theater everywhere. They just kept getting hit with bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. And let's give them some good luck. Yes, that is also very, very true. There's so much of that set that is straight from the warehouses, straight from the BBC warehouse. Most of that stuff, of course, has been sold off to Bad Wolves, which has been sold off to Sony. So anything they didn't want, they have a whole nother truck or two full of props that they can add in to look to future shows, to a second show. I can't even imagine. This is not a show you can take, quote unquote, on tour. It's one thing to rig up the Phantom of the Opera's chandelier in the audience of, a random theater somewhere. Totally doable. It's a challenge, but it's doable. This is a multi-level, multi-space. You need to and you'd have to retailor everything based on where that, what the new space is. Maybe they can add stuff. Maybe they have to subtract stuff. It's hard to be sure. There's secret doors for the actors. There's secret doors for the techs. There's secret doors for, you. Bookshelf just opened up. What? Where did that come from? So yeah, you would never take this show on tour. If it's going to go somewhere, it's going to go somewhere for a month or two run. It has to. That's the way that show is, and it's simply too big. As I said, I could go through this twice a day for the rest of the run and still never see everything. So I can't stress, just if you're in the UK, people, if you're in the UK, come to this show. They are they're even running out of merch because of course they're closing, so they're not going to refill. This was not my first choice for a shirt. I wanted to get one with the logo. They were all up. It was either a 2X, which this is an extra large, and actually the 2X might have not been terrible. Not as baggy as I thought it might have been. exactly understand the cost and other factors get in the way. It definitely does, but I mean, it's if they want it, they would love to do it. Um, it's just a matter of time, me whiny, wibbly wobbly money. They could certainly go over, say they could mount this it and sorry, traveling TARDIS people except for Nisha, they could go to LA, mount it somewhere before Gallifrey 1. You don't think if they wouldn't sell out for, however long on either side of a big event like that? They could. I mean, they could. It's LA. They could sell out constantly. It's a huge city with tons of cool stuff. New York, sure, that's a little bit more expensive, but I mean, they definitely would be able to get the cast. They would definitely be able to get the technicians. Um, come up to Canada, to Toronto. I'm like, I would love for you to come to the West, but I know that Toronto's where that's the population base. That is so much of all of Canada's population, full stop. Never mind just the theater. If they were to come west, maybe they might mount it in Vancouver, but probably Toronto. Yeah, I'm assuming you're out west that way there, Gia. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. This has been such a mind-blowing day. Yes, I flew in. So just for those who didn't realize this, we had we had our 10th anniversary of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS in Orlando, and I was out here. Steeped Games helped bring me out, so thank you very much to Dan and Steeped Games. Out to Orlando, and I'm going to look because I just realized that I can potentially bring up a cool little video if it's there. Let me see it. Why does that say 0 bytes? Oh, there we go. Is that the right one? That's the right one. Let's see if this will load. It'll take.
We're still setting up.
It's
so
totally is. All right.
You'll get the real show in a few minutes. Stay live.
So we did a giant panel on their stage. First panel on the Creator stage in Orlando, period, full stop. So they recorded it. You can see this is their footage here. I also had it live streamed from my phone. So that was that shot you saw a little bit before. So we had a ton of fun for our anniversary.
Seeing the smart people.
Thomas from the Hanging With show
all the way down.
Did stuff there. And we'll get rid of this now that I forgot that if you hit the share video button, which is a little different thing, it just pops right in. But good to know that I can do that. How about a convention center that hosts Comic-Con? Would that work? It would be expensive. It would be super expensive because they would have to do massive. They would have to again. The size of it. They'd have to then build walls, and it would have to be somewhat soundproof. It's not soundproof. I mean, it's there are fake walls they've built. You can hear, I just heard a scream back there. You do get a little bit of that. Not as much, but I think a convention center, you're looking more of a warehouse is more what they need. There's a group here that manages expensive live interactive show like Van Gogh, Bridgerton. If it's the same Van Gogh that was on tour here, we did that as well, and it's still not the same. Bridgerton, I don't know what that I would look like. Maybe closer, but yeah, it's. Like I said, it's nothing. I've done haunted houses where we've gone into a multi-level warehouse and done a similar thing, but not nearly to this level. If you've seen the movie Clue, originally that came out with a whole bunch of different endings. You went to the theater, you may or may not have the same ending. There was rumors that that was going to happen with Logan. I think it was Logan that the MCU was going to, or Fox was going to do that. Didn't happen. But this is the same sort of a thing where you're not going to get the same experience. Well, I would not even guess. There's so many backstage areas, twists and turns. Like I said, even walking through the set, I saw new stuff that I didn't see in the show that I went to, in the tour of everything. Bye, Sophie. And then the second show, suddenly there was a whole other thing that I hadn't seen. So it's, who knows? I also saw a little bit of the backstage, but not nearly all of it. Yeah. So what kind of square footage? I'm not the one to answer that question, unfortunately. But if there's any more questions, I'll probably log off of this thing fairly soon, as most people have left. Any last questions? Going once, twice sold? Anyone? Going once? No? All right. Well, I do want to thank Christian again for letting me go on this little adventure. And again, as I said, Steeped Games for helping get me out here. You can, we got something through. I don't want that. Yeah. Oh. Boop. No, I'll see Boop, which is a great coming game when I get back to Columbus, which is where I go after this trip. I go from London to Birmingham for the UK Games Expo, to Columbus, Ohio for the Origins Game Fair. So you can track me down at any of those things. And I need banners. You can find me and all of my social media right here. After all this time, you think I would be able to remember to mirror myself. Linktree, linktr.ee/therathole.ca. You can find my YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to Legend of the Traveling Tortoise's YouTube. You can find my Twitter, all of my everything, and all of my Doctor Who reviews. There will be a link to this video, but I won't be doing a on the rat hole review of this. Maybe I will, but probably not. But all my Doctor Who reviews, therathole.ca/who, for all the game reviews that I've done on that. I can tell you right now, there are a few more amazing little reviews coming that I'm not going to spoil. I'll just say that. I've got some great projects in the works that are going to be going up on that page. So thank you guys very much for joining in on this. Last call for any comments. Otherwise, I think we're going to end it right here because it's just over half hour, so that's a good timing. And if I can find the proper ending. Nope, that's the time. There we go. Oh, there's one more comment. You don't say anything. Did I say the H? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm bad. Sophia! Yes. Thanks, Dave. But did I say Birmingham? Did I go all Alabama on that? Oh, I'm bad. I'm bad. Now I'm just embarrassed. All right. Thank you again, and we'll see you whenever we have a show. I think the Legend of Traveling Tortoise is back next Tuesday as usual, and I think we have a great musical guest whose name I don't know. We've got Sophia Miles, Bits of the Tortoise, coming up tomorrow on the Legend of the Traveling Tortoise YouTube page. If you did not see that interview, it was, how do I put that? Interesting. And the 10-minute version of that is cut down, and that'll be going up on this channel right here tomorrow. Dominic Lynn, thank you very much, who's one of the Doctor Who composers. is going to be on the show next week. Whether I will or not will depend a little bit on how things go. That's a travel day for me, so. And if not, hopefully we'll see all of you guys back. And I will leave us with this. Seriously though, who doesn't like Andy Wilson stuff? I'm loving this. Go find his album on